Drinking water right after waking up is the simplest thing in the world. You definitely have a friend who's always strangely energetic. Not one of those who tremble from coffee, a kind of real aliveness. Their skin looks good, they never complain about headaches, and they function like a normal human before noon. So what's their secret? They drink water the moment they wake up. Not coffee, not checking the phone, just water. It sounds boring as hell, but look what happens. Your body has gone 8 hours without water. Your brain is literally shrinking from dehydration. And then you're surprised why you feel dead until 2 p.m. Smart people hydrate their bodies first. The rest, hit the snooze button 20 times and wonder why life feels so damn hard. Is it boring? Very much. But does it actually work? Absolutely yes. Your body is 60% water, not 60% coffee, so start acting like your body. Making your bed. A habit that sounds like a mom's advice. Some people think making the bed is useless because it's going to get messy again at night. Congratulations, that's the dumbest logic you can use for anything. But what does making the bed actually do? Before 7 a.m., you've already completed one task. Your brain gets a small hit of accomplishment. You've proved to it that you can finish something. After a terrible day, you come home and your room doesn't look like a crime scene. There's one thing in place, a small win that's waiting for you. The U.S. Navy swears by this habit, not because they love folding sheets, but because small orders lead to bigger orders. If you can't handle your bed, how will you handle the rest of your life? Will it change your life? More than you think. Order starts in the corners you fold yourself. Walking after eating instead of collapsing like a lazy bear. You definitely have a friend who turns into a couch after a meal. Meanwhile, their metabolism is asleep and their blood sugar is rising. But there's another person, the one who takes a 10-minute walk after eating, around the house, in the yard, or outside. They come back feeling good, while you're still lying there like a python trying to digest a whole boar. Science agrees with this too. Walking after meals regulates blood sugar, improves digestion, and prevents that deadly fatigue after eating. But most people prefer to suffer rather than take a boring short walk. But does it actually work? Both your pancreas and your productivity say yes. And they confirm it. Sleeping at the same time every night. Some people treat their sleep like a suggestion, not a rule. On Monday, they sleep at 12 a.m. On Friday, they stay awake until 4 in the morning. And on Sunday, they sleep till noon trying to catch up. Their body has no idea what's going on. Their circadian rhythm is completely confused. Meanwhile, the boring people go to bed at exactly the same time every night, even on weekends. Even when there's a party, even when a new show just dropped, they treat their sleep like their religion. The result? They wake up naturally, without harsh alarms, without grogginess. Their body understands its rhythm and flows with it. While you're still trying to pry your eyes open with coffee just to feel human, they've already been 3 hours into their day. Will you do it? Probably not. That's why you're always tired. Eating the same breakfast every day. Decision fatigue is real. You probably know someone who eats the exact same breakfast every morning. Oatmeal, eggs, bread, and cheese, or whatever. The same meal every day. No variety. It looks boring, maybe even depressing. But look what they're doing. Before their brain is fully awake, they eliminate decision fatigue. Every small decision drains mental energy. What should I eat? What should I wear? What should I do first? By 9 a.m., you've already made 20 small decisions, and your brain is exhausted. Successful people automate the boring stuff. The same breakfast, the same workout, the same morning routine. They save their decision-making energy for important things. While you're standing in front of the fridge wondering what you feel like, they've already finished their work and moved on with their day. You've probably wondered why rich people always wear the same simple clothes. Now you know why. It's also backed by science. Willpower is limited, so use it wisely. Tracking your expenses. A habit no one feels like doing. There's always that one person who knows exactly where their money goes. Not because they're stingy, not because they're anxious, because they write down every single expense. Coffee, subscriptions, internet, those pointless midnight online purchases from Digicala, all recorded. They know the numbers, while you wonder why you're broke every month even though you didn't spend that much. Spoiler, you spend way more than you think. You're just unwilling to face it. Tracking expenses is boring, unpleasant. It forces you to confront the fact that you bought 10 unnecessary things, but that's exactly what helps you start building wealth. How boring is it? Extremely. But will it change your financial life? Absolutely. If you have the guts to face the truth. Then, your life will change. Reading before bed instead of scrolling Instagram until your eyes burn. Most people end their day the same way, scrolling until their brain fries and their eyes sting. Then they wonder why they can't sleep. Even worse, why they wake up anxious. Boring people read a real book before bed. Fiction or nonfiction, doesn't matter. Just something that isn't a glowing rectangle filled with rage and comparison. Their brain naturally calms down. They fall asleep faster. They have less stress because they didn't cook their brain in other people's problems and lives before bed. But you're on Instagram at 1 a.m. watching other people's drama, and then you ask why your mental health sucks. But does this actually help? Ask anyone who sleeps well, they'll tell you it does. Meal prepping for the week on Friday. The ultimate boring move. There's always someone who never stresses about food. They don't order takeout every night. They don't panic run to the fridge whenever they're hungry. Because they've got meals ready. They spent 2 boring hours on a Friday cooking rice, protein, and veggies while you were scrolling or watching TV. They were packing their meals like they own a private restaurant. Does it look boring? Totally. But what's the result? They save money. They eat healthier. And they never face that 8 p.m. what should I eat crisis when you're exhausted and falling apart. They make one decision once and they're free for a week. How boring is it? Extremely. But does it eliminate daily stress? More than most people are willing to admit. Real rest, not scrolling. Some people think resting means checking their phone or watching YouTube. But that's not rest. It's just changing the type of activity. Your brain is still in input mode. Boring people actually rest. They stare outside. They stretch. They just sit somewhere and literally do nothing. Their brain gets a chance to reset, process, and rest. While your brain just jumps from work stress to social media stress, and you still wonder why you're always tired. Real rest is boring because nothing happens. But that's exactly why it works. Your brain needs boredom to recover. Without it, you're just running on caffeine fumes and pretending you have energy. 10-minute daily tidying. There's always that one person whose house is never messy. Not because they're always cleaning, but because they spend just 10 minutes a day. The dishes, wiping the sink, putting things away, that's it. Every single day, without exception. While you let the mess pile up until you're forced into a 3-hour cleaning hell. That person, with their super boring routine, keeps their home in order. And most importantly, their environment never stresses them out because they never let things get out of control. How boring is it? Extremely. But does it prevent chaos? Absolutely yes. That's why they're calm, and you're not. The boring truth. Here's something no one tells you about life-changing habits. They're supposed to be boring. If they were exciting, everyone would do them. It's their dullness that separates serious people from the rest. Exciting habits never last. They burn out fast. But boring habits quietly compound until one day you wake up and realize your entire life has changed. Not because you did something big or dramatic, but because you did small things when no one was watching and when you didn't feel like it. That's the real secret successful people never tell you. Their lives look exciting Because their habits are boring. If this made you realize you've been chasing excitement instead of consistency, good. Now you know what actually works. Hit the like button. Pretend you're committing to one boring habit. Subscribe, like you're choosing consistency over excitement. Because real change doesn't come from motivation. It comes from boring repetition, the kind you keep doing even when you don't feel like it. Same principles, different methods, much better results. And now, if you're looking for a mindset to strengthen your habits and build an unbreakable mind, your next step is watching this video.